What's up YouTube? For today's video, with a full wild level 100 Pokemon team. These are Pokemon that can appear in the wild at level 100. There's only a few of them, but there was enough to make up a team of 4. So, little bit of footage here. I managed to find the level 100 Magikarp in the wild. Took me about 45 minutes. This was on Pokemon Platinum, just to give you a bit of an example there. Now, if you do want to check me out on Twitch, people, this is where I do all my battles, all my live streams, of course, and all my Pokemon sweeps. Let's get into these battles. I've got 3 of them today with the 4 Pokemon team. There's only 4 Pokemon, which made it a good challenge too. This is a battle against Pulsar, and we've got a Pachirisu lead. First Pokemon up is Magikarp, of course. Now, Magikarp is quite unique because you can catch it at level 100, as you just seen in Pokemon Platinum, in the battle zone, in the resort area, right? However, you can also get it in the nature preserve in Pokemon Black and White 2, which is really cool too, at level 100, which is kind of nice. So it's interesting that they gave it a level 100, but in Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, you can't get it there because unfortunately it's on a Platinum only thing. I was holding out and hoping that I could go for it again, but no, it took me about 45 minutes. Did you ever capture the level 100 Magikarp? Let me know in the comments. Okay, next Pokemon is Gyarados here. This really isn't the greatest matchup in the world, I know, but I've only got 4 Pokemon. So I've got Hurricane, Fire Blast, Thunder, and Hydro Pump. I've got a max health and max special attack set with a choice specs. It's got Super Fangs. It's like, okay, maybe it doesn't have a really powerful electric type move, right? So popping off that Hydro Pump on the Pachirisu, even with choice specs attached, Gyarados' special attack is trash. And Pachirisu is going to take me out the discharge. Man, things are not going good at the moment. Now, Gyarados can be found also in Black and White 2's Nature Preserve, along with Magikarp at level 100. It's very, very rare, though. That's definitely the most rarest level 100 Pokemon in the wild to find. Okay, next is Giratina. We've got Shadow Force, Dragon Pulse, Shadow Sneak, and Ancient Power. I ran this as max attack and max special attack, so I was kind of relying on Ancient Power to give it just maybe 1 boost, so I could sort of patch its speed a little bit, give it a little bit of overall bulk, and it'll be very, very offensive. Now, that is the end of Pachirisu, but it doesn't end there, people, because it is a full team of Pachirisu, 6 of them. I was like, oh, man, what is going to go on? This was very, very frustrating here, right? I definitely wouldn't do this to other people. So, I'm going to get paralyzed here. I was like, all right, I'm going to go for a Shadow Force because I want to use Shadow Force. It's going to one-shot Pachirisu. If I go for Dragon Pulse, well, we know there's not going to one-shot. I kept getting paralyzed here over and over again, and then Pachirisu flings a Hearthstone at me. I'm like, what the heck? What are these sets? I know that trick's coming from me, right? So I'm going to go for another Shadow Sneak again. Now, obviously, with Giratina, if you didn't know already, in Pokemon Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, you can actually have an encounter with Shadow Giratina at level 100. You're not able to actually capture it, but it is, appearing in the wild at level 100. So there you go. That's a newest addition to the level 100 Pokemon. Maybe we'll get some more in the future. I don't know. So there's one more Pokemon on this team as well. Now, a fun little fact here. I actually did a video. I might put it in the end screen of this video or the description. I did a video based on what is the highest Pokemon you can catch in the wild and what's the lowest Pokemon. It's actually quite an interesting watch if you've ever seen it before. But I think I did it about a year or 2 ago. It's very, very interesting if you kind of, involved in these sort of topics of specific level Pokemon. Anyway, back to the battle. Just a bit of trivia there. We got another Pachirisu. It's number 3. I need to take a pee. And it's going to go for a Charge Beam here, right? And Charge Beam is going to boost its special attack. Now, it doesn't have a lot of presence about it, Pachirisu. Especially when you're versing a Giratina, right? Because I resist pretty much all of its moves. Now, I was trying to go for Shadow Force here. It's going to use protection, but the good thing about this, right, if you land the Shadow Force, it busts through the protection, so that's why I kept going for it. But I was just getting very, very unlucky, like over and over on the attacking move of Shadow Force, I would just get paralyzed, right? Now, I thought of just going for Dragon Pulse, but I was like, okay, it's not going to one-shot it. And essentially, I'm going to get paralyzed anyway. So I might as well just try and one-shot this thing. And then the Pachirisu started setting up a substitute, and it's got protect at the same time. Like, this is this is getting really, really annoying. So the sub is up, and it's got leftovers at the same time. I need to break the sub, right? Now, Pachirisu just keeps charge beaming here, and it keeps boosting its special attack. I mean, it's not really doing too much, even with all its boosts. But still, it was very, very annoying. So I think that's boost number 2 or 3 for Pachirisu right there. I just went for Dragon Pulse here. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to start attacking this thing just with like one-turn moves. Like Shadow Force is really cool and powerful, but you got to wait that extra turn. So, and if you get really unlucky with like the paralysis, you'll find yourself not be able to do very, very much at all, yeah? So now Pachirisu is going to go for another charge beam here. This seems to be its most powerful move. Even with those boosts, it's still really not doing too much damage. I got paralyzed again. I got paralyzed a lot in this battle, especially with my Giratina. I mean, Magikarp and Gyarados didn't really stick around too long because I got one-shotted, yeah? So here comes another charge beam from Pachirisu right here, and I think I can leave like 2 more of them, right? Depending on, if it gets a boost or not. And he got another boost there. So that's 3 boosts or 4 boosts already. I haven't been keeping track. So go for a Dragon Pulse here on the Pachirisu. And there we go. It's not going to take it out. So like, oh, man. I do have Shadow Sneak on this set, and I was thinking maybe I, actually could just use that to finish it off, and I did, and that's the end of Pachirisu. But Pachirisu probably with Shadow Sneak was still like a 2 to 3 hit KO. Next Pokemon is Cheeky, the Pachirisu. I wonder if we're going to get a shiny one here. It's like a pinky reddy color. I was like, you know what? I'm not playing any games now. I'm going to go for Shadow Sneak every single time to get around the paralysis, right? It does a little bit over half health. Discharge is going to do nothing. I went for Shadow Sneak number 2 on Pachirisu number 4, and it lives. See, it was a 3-hit KO. Oh, and that is the end of my Giratina. I wasn't a Giratina winner in that matchup. So I've got one more Pokemon left, and that is going to be Regigigas. So Regigigas, you can get a level 100 in Sword and Shield, which is pretty cool. And you can capture that. And I decided to use the old Rock Climb set because how could I resist using such a glitchy set? Now, speaking of glitches, right? I've had a couple of people maybe tell me about some glitches, right? They're like, oh, these things actually, these things happen in the battle. Maybe you could add them to your ID for your glitch Pokemon team. So I believe that I've got 6 Pokemon, or 4 to 6 Pokemon I could use in a glitched Pokemon team. And what I mean by that is they actually use a move like, Rock Climb Regigigas, or a Pokemon using Rock Climb. So they have some pretty funny things that I'm going to try and show off in a couple of battles. So maybe I'll try and aim for that next week. Some of them are kind of specific, whereas some of them are just, easy to use. You just have to use the moves, say, like Rock Climb in this situation. But I'm going to try and do that. If anyone, of course, has found out any other, like, glitches with the moves, I'm talking about actual battle glitches, right? So you know how I use Rock Climb there, and, you don't see the health bar and things like that. Those sort of glitches, So anyway, that is the end of Cheeky, and I got my act together, and now it's time to steamroll these little Pachirisus. So there's 2 more left. Cutie Pie, right? Cutie Pie's got a cutie die. Go for that Rock Climb there, and that is a 1-hit KO. I've got max attack and max speed, and I've got Adam Nature. Last Pokemon is Happy Cheeks. I gotta say they had very, very good nicknames. It outsped me. I'm like, wait, that must be Choice Scarf. So it critted me, and of course it paralyzed me too. I'm like, oh, don't you dare. And thankfully, I get a Rock Climb off, and that is the end of the 6 Pachirisu. That was so annoying when I had Giratina. Thank you, Pulsar, for the battle. And good stuff there using a 6 Pachirisu team. Very, very cool. And a good challenge, too. Actually, I wouldn't mind doing some of the 6 Pokemon teams. It's been a hot minute. Okay, next battle is against Nami Mami. We've got a Flygon here. It's nice and shiny. I've got my Carp as the lead. Now, usually, out of all the battles, I lead with Magikarp, just in case the opponent set up, like, Stealth Rock and stuff like that. That would ruin my focus, actually. So, U-Turn's going to take me all the way down to my Sash. That's great. I think this is a naive Magikarp or something along those lines, and I've just got, like, its 3 basic moves. Unfortunately, it doesn't get Hydro Pump, so I couldn't really give you anything, like, different with this set rather than just the normal one. So, pretty good damage there with Flail when you think about it. Zoomer's going to finish me off with a Aqua Jet. So, bye-bye Magikarp. That's probably the most I can do with it at this stage of the game. So I thought, well, this is a good opportunity. Let's send in the Gyarados, and let's see if I can do more than I did last battle, right? So getting Intimidate off on Azumarill. I do have Thunder here, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to go for Thunder. Let's see how much damage it's going to do if they stay, and that is. And that's going to take Azumarill out, which is nice. I wonder what move they were going for. Maybe they're going for a setup move as well. So bye-bye Azumarill. Next Pokemon is going to be Magnezone, called Steel Balls. Okay, yeah, you got a bit of a problem if you got some magnets on your ball. So anyway, back to the battle. Swapping the Gyarados out there, it would be very magnifying, you know what I'm saying. So swapping Giratina right here, it's going to go for a T-Bomb. So I was like, I cannot stand against that with my Gyarados. Like, I'd like to hit, I'm thinking like, I'd like to hit it with Fire Blast, but I've got to be able to swap it in safely or somewhat, I don't know. So anyway, we got the Magneton, nearly said Magnezone swapping out there, and we got Empoleon swapping in. So I went for Shadow Force here. Now this time, I'm not paralyzed by like 69 million Pachirisu, so I thought this is great. They're going to go for Protect there. It's going to bust through the protection, and that's going to do some very, very good damage. I like how that gets through protection. That's good. I mean, you've already got to wait a turn to use it, so that's already a drawback as well. So I can go for another one and take it out here. Dragon Pulse won't take it out. Shadow Sneak won't take it out. So I was like, let's just go for that again. If they want to swap in another Pokemon to, you know, my move, I'm fine with that. It's going to do a lot of damage. So Empoleon's got leftovers, but that is not going to be enough even if it tries to go Protect. It's going to bust through, and that is going to be the end of Empoleon, which is good. I did have my Gyarados in the back there with Thunder as well, so to deal with any, you know, Water-type Pokemon if I did lose Giratina. Next Pokemon is going to be Torkoal, and Torkoal's got the Drought ability. So I was thinking, well, I don't think Torkoal can really do a lot to me. Let's go for Dragon Pulse. Let's hit it on the special side because the special is nowhere near as good as its, you know, defensive side. And it's going to pop a Lava Plume. Now, that does pretty good damage. I was like, they'd probably go for a burn, and they did get their burn with Lava Plumes. So like, bugger, that sucks. So now my physical moves are not going to be doing nowhere near as much, and I'm also going to be taking extra damage. So finishing off Torkoal with a little bit of a disrespect Shadow Sneak there. I would have tried if that lived. Actually, I could have plugged my merch. And that's the end of Torkoal, right? So I've got Flygon, and I've got Magneton, and one other Pokemon. So things are looking really good at the moment, looking fresh. Next is Flygon. I was a little bit worried about this, but I was like, even if I, you know, lose my Giratina here, I can probably swap in Gyarados. That'll be a good swap. So go for Shadow Sneak. I knew that it'd probably outspeed me because I'm not running any speed EVs. It's going to finish me off with a Dragon Claw. So good effort there by Giratina. I tried to nerf it a little bit by giving it like max attack and max special attack and no speed, and relying on ancient power to get some sort of, you know, form of speed boost. So going into Gyarados here, we got the Flygon swap out. I was so close, I'm not joking, I was so close going for a Fire Blast in, but I thought, what if they have a setup move there and they stay in? So I decided to go for the Hurricane instead, and Hurricane's not going to do a lot to the Magneton, right? But then I got a confusion. I was like, ooh, this is actually not bad. So I thought, well, I can swap Gyarados out. I know the Thunderbolt's definitely coming away. Let's go into Regigigas, and then look, I could actually swap back into Magneton if it's still confused. Maybe I could do a risky swap in and take it out with the Fire Blast. So here comes Thunderbolt from the Magneton. Does a very good amount of damage there. You know, Magneton's got a lot of space special attack too. I've got the lefty, so it's fine. I can still recover from this, and I've got my Regigigas in the back, but I can't really paralyze this with Thunder Wave, so it's not going to work that well. So I took a risk here and went into Gyarados. So, okay, if it hits Self and Confusion, I can heal it with Fire Blast, and it's done, right? That's cool. That'll be the end of Magneton. So Magneton is confused here at the moment. They bust through the confusion, and that is the end of Gyarados. I know that was a really, really risky swap in, but, you know, sometimes you got to take the chance in the battle. You know what I mean? You got to do the unexpected. So, unfortunately, it didn't pay off then. So, my last Pokemon is Regigigas. I've already taken one Thunderbolt already. I'm not too keen to take any more. So, I'm going to go for Protective. So, that's one turn to slow start stalled out. Magneton entering is still actually confused, and it gets through all three confusions in a row. So it's like, well, it's just not my day at the moment with confusion. The good thing is I do have leftovers on there, so I know that I should be able to get to 5 turns with that. So that's the 4th turn of confusion, and finally the Magneton hits itself in confusion. So I was like, that's good. And I would have liked that to happen against my Gyarados, but you know what? You can't always get what you want, right? So knocking off its Choice Scarf, that was its item. So now it's going to be able to use moves apart from Thunderbolt. I know Magneton's moveset in and out, so it's probably got some sort of steel move like Flash Cannon, maybe Hyper Beam or Tri Attack, and then use Tri Attack. So Tri Attack is annoying if it freezes you or paralyzes you or burns you. That would be very, very problematic, especially burn or freeze, like especially burn. So now Magneton's going to go for a Flash Cannon. This does have a chance of dropping my Special Defense, so I want to get rid of this pretty quickly. And one more knockoff's going to take it out, so I'm fine with that. So I'm around half health at the moment, Regigigas, and not too bad. I went for a double Scumbag Protect, and it worked. I'm like, well, the Blissey Kid can get 4, I can get 2, right? Like, something's got to happen here, right? So I've got 2 in a row. I've got some leftovers recovery there as well. So now, I think that's 4 turns. No, this is the 5th turn, sorry. I finally got my Activate. Great. So go for knockoff, and that's the end of Steel Ball. So that was a very problematic Pokemon there. So now we've got a Flygon left, which I'm absolutely confident I can take that out. I can't paralyze it, but this stage there's no point paralyzing. Just go for the rock climb, right? So in comes the Flygon here. I was quite curious. I think I can actually outspeed this too. I've got max speed. I went for Protect just to see what it was going to use. I was like, wonder what it's going to use. It's probably going to use Earthquake, and it did use Earthquake, so that's just fine. So it's got U-turn and Earthquake, and I'm going to get some more leftover recovery too. That was one of the main reasons I did that too, just for a little bit of extra recovery. You never know what's going to happen. So I went for the rock climb, and it missed. I'm like, no. So here comes the Earthquake, right? Almost takes me out. I wouldn't. I mean, I probably would have lived. Like barely if I didn't use Protect before, but it would have been very, very close. I'm going to connect the second rock climb, and that's going to take Flygon out with a crit. I don't know, man. I think I would have actually taken that out in one shot. It would have been very, very close. You'd have to do a damage calc on a Adamant Regigigas versus a just a sweeping Flygon, max speed, max attack, something like that. Last Pokemon is going to be Vileplume. I was like, okay, I know Vileplume very well. This thing's not going to go down in one shot. Like, even a sweeping set, I'd say, is going to live badly. So I went for the Protect, and they had the perfect move. They had Solar Beam, right? Now, Solar Beam takes 2 turns to activate. I could go for a double Skull Berry Protect there, but it's probably going to fail. So I went for the Rock Climb, and it's going to eat a berry. Like, watch this. This is so weird when it eats a berry. It looks like it damages itself when it eats a berry. Oh my goodness. So anyway, we got the Vileplume. Go for the Solar Beam here. Unfortunately, my Regigigas only has a little bit of health there, and it's going to be enough to take it out. So most people would have used Solar Beam with a Power Whip or the Sun, but that was like a perfect counter to get around my Protect. Thank you, Nami Mami, for the battle. I believe I would have won that if I didn't miss the first rock climb against the Flygon, like, without a shred of a doubt. Okay, let's get on to battle number 3 there. This is against Swift. So the first Pokemon is going to be Snover. I was like, okay, this is not really that good for Magikarp. So you're probably wondering, oh, why would you leave Magikarp if you got a Focus Sash and you know they've got Snowboarding? Well, the thing is, on their team, there was more snow-paced Pokemon too. So I thought, well, I just want to see what moves it's going to do. And there was like another snow one, and they were all ice Pokemon, like based around hail. That's what I'm saying, snowfall. You get the idea. I've never seen snow before in my life, really. So here comes a Wood Hammer. That would have been the end of Magikarp. I possibly could have gone for a Flail there, but I would have outsped Snover, and I would have died to hail, right? So I would have gone first. Snover would have Wood Hammered. It's sure it would have taken the recoil damage, but I would have wasted my Flail then. So going for any attacking move, I had Fire Blast, I had Hurricane. I wasn't going to go for a Hurricane, but that's the end of Snover. But there was some other scary Pokemon here to worry about. So in comes Frostas. There's going to be another Pokemon. Frostas can sometimes carry T-Bot. It's quite a good coverage move for it, so I was a little bit scared about losing Gyarados this early on in the game. So I went to Magikarp here, and it's going to set the Veil up. Oh, no. So I was already struggling for damage with my team, maybe outside of Regigigas, but then I had to wait 5 turns to do some sort of decent damage, and I had Giratina, but, that struggled to one-shot some things as well. So I was already struggling for damage here. I thought, well, I might be able to stall a couple of turns out with Magikarp and get rid of this Veil. Hopefully, right? Frostas, I cannot hit it all. I've got Tackle on the Flail. I wish I had something like Hydro Pump to get some sort of damage. Frost Breath is going to take Magikarp out in one shot. So, unfortunately, the Carp was absolutely dead weight in this battle. So I'm thinking to myself, what should I swap in here? Should I go back into Gyarados, stress this out, and see if it's got Thunderbolt or not? So I go into Gyarados. I've got Fire Blast ready to rock and roll. Will it take Frostless out? I think it will. So here comes a Frost Breath from the Frostless, and that does a lot of damage to my Gyarados, considering it's a it's a Gyarados, and I believe this is definitely a Snow Veil set. So it's a scummy Snow Veil set. Oh, I just slapped my arm really. I slapped my arm really loud there. Sorry about that. I'm not sure if that came up in the recording, but if you hear this big slap, I just, you do this like. This is someone did this to me at school, right, when I was in, like, high school. Like, we had, like, we called it phys ed or PE, whatever you want to call it. And they'd go around and they'd slap you on the back and you'd have this big red hand mark on your back or whatever like that. I don't know. It was like some popular thing like people used to do at school. I don't know if it's still done, but anyway, back to the battle. My Gyarados got owned and my Giratina is about to get owned as well. So I Frost Breath as a 2-hit KO. I went for the Shadow Force here. Now you're probably wondering, why didn't you go for Shadow Sneak for? Because it might live, right? So I went for that, and now it's going to set up double team. Oh my goodness. So evasion is going to be very difficult to get around there. At least the hail's gone. That's the only thing. I went for a Shadow Sneak there before I died, but unfortunately, I'm dead. I'm very, very dead. So bye-bye, Giratina. You did your very best job there. Unfortunately, you got scummed out. All that's left now is my Regigigas. Now, Regigigas does have knockoff. If I can connect a knockoff, that should be enough to take it out. But I thought, well, in this matchup, I may as well make use of Protect and Thunder Wave, right? So now Frost Breath is going to go for a Frost Breath there. If this thing hits, I believe I can live these easy, judging on the damage it did to Gyarados. So here it comes. I ate that like a snack. Very, very good. The only thing I've got to worry about here is if I continually miss all my moves. I've really only got to connect one knockoff, though. So I got some leftovers recovery here. I can keep going Protect, you know, and take damage, Protect, and take damage there. I was even thinking about maybe trying a double Protect just at the end there. So Frostas is now going to have Destiny Bond. Now, if I go for knockoff at the wrong point in time here, it's not like I can swap or anything like that. My Regigigas is gone and I've lost the battle, so I need to make sure that I get this right, because they're spamming Destiny Bond trying to take me out. So I thought, okay, first things first here, I need some speed control. Let's paralyze the Frostless. I was actually kind of surprised that landed too. And let's get some control over this matchup at least. I've still got like, what, 4 other Pokemon aside of this to deal with. So go for another Protect. I'm starting to work up to get rid of that slow start, right? And it's going to keep going for Frost Breath now. It's probably better to go for a Frost Breath now that they've revealed Destiny Bomb, but you still got to keep on your guard, right, with Destiny Bomb, because, you know, that's going to be it. So I'm nearly back to full health. I went for the knockoff now knowing that they went for a Frost Breath, and that is the end of the Frostless. Thank goodness for that. That swept all of my team. I mean, Magikarp really wasn't that hard because I couldn't do much of it, but the other two, that was, you know, it was pretty bad losing those. Next Pokemon is going to be Glalie. So it's like, okay, another Ice-type Pokemon. Let's go for Rock Climb and let's see how much it does. I did not expect a KO here, and, you know, Gladie's got a bit of bulk to it, you know. So it's going to be eating a berry. I don't even know how much that initially did, so it put it in the red. And now Glalie is going to go for Explosion. So, okay, maybe I should have gone for Protect there, but, you know, I was full health, and I just went for it, right? So it would have been funny if I went for Protect, but Glalie is going to go down to Explosion, and I lived it, which is the main thing, right? So I'm back on, getting close to half health there. I could probably go Protect next turn. So out comes another Glalie, so I'm like, okay, if they're going to play Explosion game, I'm going to play Protect game, right? So let's see what they're going to do. So Glalie is going to go for a Sheer Cold this time instead of going for Explosion. So they're all of them, they're all troll sets, the whole lot of them right there. My power just like fluctuated for a second there. I heard it in the background. My UPS was like, making a noise. So anyway, back to the battle there. I'm going to go for a Rock Climb again. It misses with a Sheer Cold, thank goodness. And now I can easily take a Glalie out with Rock Climb number 2. It's also got the leftovers there. Whoa, what the heck is going on? I didn't even... Wait, so that was put in the red too, and then leftovers just added to it. It's so weird, man. So, regardless, it's going to go for a Ice Shard, getting a little bit of extra chip damage on my Regigigas, and that is the end of Glalie. So, 2 more Pokemon left. 2 more Pokemon. I knocked off the leftover too. That felt good. So, I've got a little bit over a quarter health here. Now, I wasn't sure what to expect, because the next Pokemon is going to be Warren. So, I know that Warren has a lot of bulk to it, and it does have a lot of one-hit KO moves. So going for a Rock Climb here, it had Fissure. I'm like, oh, thank goodness that missed as well. So we've had a Sheer Cold miss, another Sheer Cold, and then a Fissure miss, right? So that's pretty good. Like, I don't know how long my luck's going to last here. I've got to dodge all of them. So go for another Rock Climb there. That is the end of Warrain. 1 more Pokemon left. 1 more Pokemon left. All I've got to do is live the next move, which I'm confident I can. And the only thing I'm worried about is a one-hit KO move landing. And of course, they've got another Walrein. It's a troll set. So going for a Rock Climb again there. I know that I can't take Walrein out. Fissure is going to miss. And that, my friends, is the end of the 3rd battle. And wow, that was a crazy comeback there because Frost has bodied my entire team. And yeah, I could have easily lost along the way there to that Glalie. The second Glalie, the first Walrein, and this Walrein as well. Hope you enjoyed this video, people. I'll be back tomorrow for another one. And yeah, peace out.